Checkout counter confusion. Imagine this. You're at the supermarket checkout, groceries piled high, you've budgeted carefully, mentally tallying your expenses. The cashier scans your items and the total flashes on the screen. Your heart sinks. It's significantly higher than you anticipated. Sound familiar? This frustrating experience is more common than you think, and it might not be just an honest mistake. Supermarkets, in their quest for profit maximization, often employ subtle tactics that can leave customers paying more without realizing it. This isn't about outright theft, but rather a system designed to capitalize on our trust and potential oversight. The seemingly harmless act of grocery shopping has become a psychological game, where retailers hold the upper hand. But by understanding their tactics, we can level the playing field and ensure we're not being taken for a ride. Unraveling price discrepancies. One of the most prevalent tricks is the classic shelf price versus checkout price discrepancy. You pick up an item with a clearly marked price on the shelf, only to discover at checkout that it rings up for a higher amount. "Oh, that's an old price tag," the cashier might say nonchalantly. But is it really just an oversight, or a deliberate ploy to boost profits? While genuine errors do occur, the frequency of these discrepancies raises red flags. Supermarkets are well aware of the power of pricing psychology. They know that customers are more likely to notice a lower price on the shelf than a slightly inflated price at checkout, especially when distracted by a long queue and a mountain of groceries. This practice, while seemingly insignificant on a per-item basis, can amount to a significant sum for both the supermarket and the unsuspecting shopper over time. Tricks of the trade? The legality of such practices varies depending on local laws and regulations. In some jurisdictions, supermarkets are required to honor the lowest advertised price, even if it's a mistake. However, enforcement can be lax, and proving intent to mislead can be challenging for the average consumer. Supermarkets might argue that these discrepancies are unintentional, a result of human error or outdated systems. However, the frequency and consistency of these errors suggest a more deliberate strategy. By intentionally keeping shelf prices lower than checkout prices, retailers exploit a loophole that allows them to attract customers with enticing offers while quietly charging them more at the point of sale. This tactic preys on the consumer's trust and often leaves them feeling cheated and frustrated. While not always illegal, it raises ethical questions about transparency and fair business practices in the retail industry. Section 4. The illusion of value, shrinkflation and its impact. Another sneaky tactic employed by supermarkets is shrinkflation. This involves subtly reducing the size or quantity of a product while keeping the price the same or even slightly increasing it. The change is often so subtle that consumers don't even notice they're getting less for their money. Remember when your favorite bag of chips used to be full to the brim? Now it seems like there's more air than chips, yet the price remains unchanged. This is shrinkflation in action. By subtly shrinking product sizes, retailers create the illusion of value while quietly increasing their profit margins. Shrinkflation is particularly prevalent in packaged goods, where manufacturers can easily manipulate packaging sizes without drawing too much attention. This tactic is especially insidious because it preys on consumers' familiarity with brands and products, leading them to believe they're getting the same value as before, when in reality, they're paying more for less. Section 5. Fight back tips for savvy supermarket shopping. So how can you, the savvy shopper, protect yourself from these supermarket shenanigans? The key is vigilance. Pay close attention to prices both on the shelf and at the checkout. If you notice a discrepancy, don't hesitate to speak up. Most supermarkets will honor the lower price, especially if you can point out the error. Take your time at the checkout. Don't be afraid to ask the cashier to double-check prices if something seems off. Familiarize yourself with unit pricing, which allows you to compare the price per unit of different brands and sizes. This is particularly helpful in spotting shrinkflation tactics. Remember, knowledge is power. The more aware you are of these common supermarket tricks, the better equipped you'll be to avoid them and ensure you're getting the best value for your money. Section 6. Stay vigilant, save money, your wallet will thank you. In the end, the responsibility falls on us, the consumers, to be vigilant and informed. Supermarkets, driven by profit, will continue to employ these subtle tactics to maximize their earnings, but by understanding their game, we can level the playing field. Pay attention, ask questions, and don't be afraid to speak up when you see something amiss. Remember, every penny saved is a penny earned. By staying vigilant and informed, you can ensure that your next trip to the supermarket doesn't end with an unexpected dent in your wallet.